Hey y'all, I'm Raquel.
And I'm Jo Marie.
Welcome to
our kitchen.
What are we making today, Jo Marie?
Blueberry scones.
We're making blueberry scones,
And
one of Jo Marie's favorites.
I love blueberries.
Jo Marie loves blueberries. For the ingredients we need, what is this?
Sugar.
Flour. We need 2 cups of flour. We're also going to need, what is this?
Sugar.
Sugar. We're going to need 6 tablespoons of sugar. We're also going to need, what is this, Jo Marie?
Butter.
Butter. We're going to need 1 stick of butter. Now what I did with this butter is I cut it into cubes and then I placed it into the freezer. So to make flaky scones, it's best to use frozen butter. So I use frozen butter. You're also going to need 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You're going to need, what is this, Jo Marie? Vanilla extract. So you're going to use 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract.
And blueberries.
And of course blueberries, Jo Marie's favorite. And you're also going to need about 2 tablespoons of lemon zest. That's usually about the zest of 1 large lemon. And then you're going to need about 1 cup of heavy cream. All right, you ready to get started?
Yes.
All right, high five. Now this is a very easy basic recipe for scones. There's a lot of other recipes out there. I find this one to be pretty easy. Doesn't take long, maybe 5 minutes to put together. You definitely want to refrigerate your dough for about a 1/2 hour before baking. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your frozen butter. Jo Marie, help put the frozen butter in.
Okay.
All right, you're gonna probably have to use your fingers. All right, so you're gonna take the frozen butter and you can either use a pastry cutter, or if you have, you can use 2 forks, or
a knife.
you can even use your hands if you like, but you're just going to go ahead and incorporate that butter into the flour. You want it to get nice and coarse and crumbly. That way you know that the butter is mixed in there well. All right, Jo Marie, you want to help me?
Yes.
All right, we're just going to mash that down in there. Perfect. Okay, so we have a nice fine coarse crumbs there. All right, make sure you get all that butter off the pastry cutter. Next, Jo Marie, we're gonna add in the rest of our dry ingredients. Go ahead and add in the sugar. And again, that's 6 tablespoons of granulated white sugar. Go ahead and pour that in for us.
Are we gonna send this to Ella?
Perfect. All right, and we're gonna add in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Let's focus on this. 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Mom, are we gonna send this to Ella?
We might. All right, and then we have 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. All right, and then we have 2 tablespoons of lemon zest. Give that a smell. What does it smell like?
Lemon.
Lemons. Go ahead and pour that in.
It smells sour.
It smells sour like lemons. All right, we have that in there. Jo Marie, go ahead and give that a whisk. You're gonna mix all of your dry ingredients in there.
Oh, Mom, we didn't
Good
mix
job.
this up.
Go ahead and mix it in.
We didn't mix
Good
this
job.
up.
All right, so one ingredient that I left off at the beginning is 1 egg. You will need 1 egg for your scones. Jo Marie, go ahead and crack that egg for us. So now you're gonna mix in all of your wet ingredients. So your egg, your heavy cream, and your vanilla. You're just gonna get that ready for the flour mixture. All right, perfect. What do you need to check for, Jo?
Yeah.
Are there any shells in there?
Oh, look.
Are there any shells in there?
What?
Jo Marie, are there any shells in there?
No.
No shells, all right. So now we're gonna add in the vanilla. All right, perfect. Vanilla extract.
Vanilla extract. Boom.
All right.
My little boom.
And for the heavy cream, for these scones, we want to make sure that the scones are not dry. So you're going to do about a full cup of
Heavy cream.
heavy cream. Thank you, Jo Marie. And what I recommend is to not add it all in at one time, because you don't want your dough to be too wet because you won't be able to work with it. You also don't want it to be dry because then you'll have extra dry scones, and we don't want that. All right. So Jo Marie, we're going to go ahead and pour in most of that heavy cream. Go ahead and pour that in. All right, we're gonna leave just a little bit to add in.
This looks so good.
Perfect. It does look
It
good.
looks like ice cream.
All right, and we're gonna go ahead and give that a mix.
Okay.
Do it nice and
Ooh,
gently so you don't make a mess.
It's looking pretty.
It does look pretty, all those colors. Go ahead and mix it up. Perfect job. Okay, so we have our dry ingredients mixed in well. We have our wet ingredients. Jo Marie, go ahead and pour the wet into the dry.
Okay. The
Go ahead,
wet
you have
looks
it.
like dry.
All right, we're gonna pour all that in. Good
Okay,
job.
my hand.
And what is the next thing that we need to put in? Because we don't have any other ingredients left. What ingredient do we have left?
Blueberries.
Blueberries, Jo Marie's favorite. Go ahead and give that a try.
What should I try? Maybe 3.
Okay, go ahead and try and let us know how they taste. They good and sweet? They are. Thumbs up. Perfect. All right, go ahead and pour the blueberries in here. All right, and this is about a cup of blueberries, depending on if you, like I'm not a huge fan of blueberries, but Jo Maria, so we added a little bit extra blueberries, so you need at least 1 cup. All right, if she doesn't eat them all right now. Go ahead and put them in, Jo Marie. Perfect. Come on, pour them in. All right, so she's pouring in all the blueberries. And now all we have to do now is give this a good mix. You don't want to over mix it because then your scones will be kind of tough. You want them to be light and kind of flaky.
And we don't want the blueberries to be squashed or they're going to be squashed.
Great. So you want to make sure that when you are mixing this that you don't mix it too hard because you want to make sure that you keep your blueberries whole as much as you can. We're going to go ahead and give this a good mix. And as you're mixing it, if you notice that the mixture is a little too dry, just add in a tablespoon of cream. Just add a tablespoon at a time until you realize that, you know, everything is pulled away from the sides. You don't have any dry flour in there and it's all mixed well, okay? We're gonna go ahead and mix this up and get it ready to make our scones. All right, so we have our dough here, as you see. Yes, Jo Marie?
Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe.
There you go. So you can tell she watches a little bit of YouTube. So yes, if you like this video and you like to keep updates on future videos, be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to our page, MH Family Adventures, for more adventures and recipes. Great job, Jo Marie. All right, so we have our dough here. And as you can tell, it doesn't look dry, it doesn't look too wet. So now what we're gonna do is you're gonna take a little bit of all-purpose flour and just flour your work surface. All right. We're just gonna take that, go ahead and flour your hands a little bit, Jo, so they're not, the dough doesn't stick to your hands. And you're just gonna take this out and we're gonna place it on the floured surface. You wanna make sure you get all of that out of there. All right, we're just gonna give it a few pats and rolls, kind of fold it over itself a couple of times. You don't wanna press down too hard because you really don't wanna mash up all of those blueberries. All right, so now that we have it flattened out, Jo, go ahead and continue flattening it a little bit. You want to get it till it's about 1.5 inches thick. And you want it to be circular because that makes it easier for you to go ahead and cut your scones. And of course, scones can be any shape. So if you want to make them rectangular, you could do that. We just kind of go with the traditional. So we're going to form this into a disc. And right now what I have going on, I do have a cookie sheet with some parchment paper ready. You're gonna take these, you're gonna cut these into like little triangular shapes, and you're gonna place it on the cookie sheet, and you're gonna place it in the fridge for about a half an hour. You can do longer if you like, and then we'll put them in the oven, all right? So we have this into a disc. Perfect, Jo Marie.
Can we shape it sounds like a heart?
No, we're not gonna shape it like a heart today. Maybe the next time we make them, okay? So as you see, we have our disc here, and I'm gonna take the knife, watch your fingers, Jo Marie.
Okay.
We're just gonna cut out 4 scones. So we're gonna go that way.
Okay, be careful.
We're gonna go this way. And then we're gonna go in between each cut. And I'm not that great at cutting, so it might not be perfectly straight, but that's okay.
It looks like
watch your fingers.
Triangle, Mom.
Perfect. All right. So as you see, we now have our scones ready to go. So we're gonna take these and we're gonna put these on a cookie sheet. So you have your scone, there you go.
Looks like
and it's gonna go on a cookie sheet. Okay, so we have our scones here. We're gonna put them about 2 inches apart on this cookie sheet. And we're gonna put this in the fridge for about an hour or 30 minutes to an hour. Like I said, you could do a little bit longer if you choose, and that just helps everything to incorporate. It helps make sure that your ingredients are cold before you put them in the oven, and that helps so that your scones don't spread so much. So you're gonna notice that these are gonna get rather large, and you don't want them to spread too wide, okay? So we're gonna stick these in the fridge for a little bit. All right, so while our scones chill in the fridge, we're gonna go ahead and make the lemon glaze that goes on top of them. So all you'll need is 1 cup of powdered sugar. And then what is this? Vanilla extract. So you'll need just a little splash of vanilla extract. And then the juice of a half a large lemon. You could do more or less depending on if you want a bright lemony taste or if you just want it to be mostly like a sugary glaze. It depends on what you like. Jo Marie, go ahead and pour the lemon juice in.
Okay. Oh, I just want to drink it, Mom.
No, you don't drink it. Come on, pour it in. Perfect. And then the splash of vanilla extract. Perfect.
I'll mix
And we're
it.
just gonna give that a mix until it becomes a glaze. And then once you take your scones out of the oven, you're gonna let them cool for about 10 minutes and then you'll glaze them. So we're just getting this ready and we're gonna put it to the side. All right, so here we have our glaze. And if you want it, depends on what consistency you want. You can always add a little bit more lemon there or even a splash of cream or milk. But that is the glaze that we will put on top of our scones, all right? All right, so we have our scones here. They are fresh out of the fridge. And before we bake them, first off, I have the oven on 350 degrees. I've had it preheating while they were in the fridge. You're gonna bake these for about 25 to 30 minutes. So you're gonna bake them until they're golden brown. But before we do that, I like to take a little bit of heavy cream and just top. Let me do one so I can show you, Joe. You're just gonna top it off. And what this does is it helps to build a kind of like a crust that's a little bit hardened. So you have like a crispy crust on top and then it's gonna be soft and nice in the middle. So you're just gonna take the heavy cream and you're gonna put it on top of all of the scones. And this is gonna give it a nice color as well. Jomer, you wanna do some?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Color.
Alrighty. And again, you're gonna bake it 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes. And then you'll let them cool on the pan for about 10 minutes and then you'll place them on a cooling rack and that's when you'll glaze them. I do feel that scones for me, because I'm a texture person, certain textures I don't like. So for the scones, I prefer to eat them the day that I bake them. If I decide to store them, they do store well. You can stick them in the freezer. If you put them in the fridge, they'll last a few days. If you leave them on the counter, I would give them like another day. But what I like to do is if I eat them beyond the first day, I will take them and put them on a cookie sheet and I'll warm them in the oven on 350 for about 10 minutes. And then the texture kind of changes from scone-like to biscuit-like, which I don't mind because I love biscuits. But they're still really, really tasty. And I actually feel like they taste better the second day because that butter and the blueberries and everything kind of incorporates a little bit better and it just has a really good flavor, okay? So we have these ready to go. We're gonna get these in the oven, 350 for 25 to 30 minutes and we'll be back. So here you have the scones fresh out of the oven. I'm gonna let them rest here on this pan for about 10 minutes before I put them on a cooling rack. All right, so our scones are done. You see they have that nice brown golden color. That's because of the heavy cream that we added to the top. So again, we'll let this cool and then we'll transfer them to a cooling rack. All right, so here go our scones fresh from the oven. Now we're just gonna take that glaze that we made and we're gonna go ahead and glaze these. You wanna glaze them while they're still warm. That just helps to add more to the crust and it allows your glaze to harden just a little bit. If you put it on while they're cold, then it'll kind of be sticky and it won't really adhere to the scones. So we're gonna go ahead and just drizzle that over top. All right, we're gonna get just a little bit on each scone. You can do more or less depending on your preference. All right, so we have these nice and glazed. All right, and we're gonna let these continue to cool. All right, so like I said, quick and easy. How's it taste?
Good.
Tastes good? Yep, we're gonna give it a taste. Jo Marie is very anxious to give these a try. And again, like I said, that it took all of less than 10 minutes to prepare and about 30 minutes to bake. So quick and easy to do. Jo Marie, let's go ahead and give this piece a try. They're still a little warm, so be careful. Let me know how you like it.
So you don't burn yourself.
All right, let us know how you like it.
That's the goodest blueberry thing.
Is it the goodest or is it the best?
It's the best thing.
It's the best scones that she's had. All right. So again, if you like our recipe and you want to subscribe to our channel, please do so on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up, a like, and you'll be updated on further recipes and videos to come. All right. Did you have fun making this, Jo Marie?
Subscribe. Yeah.
All right. We're going to be passing these off to who? Who are we giving these to? Do you know? My sister, Auntie Cheryl. We're gonna give these to Auntie Cheryl because we had some the other day. So again, easy, delicious blueberry scones. Jo Marie's gonna make sure she has this one. All right, you guys take care and we'll see you guys soon.
Mom, make sure I have this one.
All right, before we go, Dyson wanted to give them a taste. Give it a taste, Dice.
Now, immediately.
Stop. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. All right, before we go, Dyson wanted to give them a try. Give it a taste, Dice. Let me know what you think.
It's good.
It's good? All right,
It's
so
good.
nice buttery blueberry scone. We'll see you later.